Hi, welcome to New Tool Tuesday. Today we're going to be talking about these drill bits. So this is a Milwaukee Shockwave impact duty bit set, and it's 3 electrician impact step drill bit set. I don't know why electrician is put in the name, because truthfully anybody can use these. But let me just open up the package here and we'll talk about what these are and why I bought them. They come in one of those plastic things that if you try to pull apart with your hands, you end up all cut up. So that's not awesome. I would imagine that they do that because the hardware store that I bought this from, they also have like those security pins to keep them on the hooks, unless somebody helps you and gets them off for you. So I'm guessing this is an item that people steal often. These are not cheap. I want to say the set is $160. Individually, these bits are about 60, 70 bucks a piece, depending on the size that you're getting. So inside this kit are 3 step drill bits. This largest one goes from, well, I mean a point basically all the way up to 1 1/8. The next size down goes up to 7/8 of an inch, and the smallest one goes to 1 inch from a point. And I've had a lot of these over the years. We used to use them all the time when I worked at the automotive electronics place that I worked at years ago. And I used to buy them from Harbor Freight, and they were just junk. You'd use them once, you'd throw them out when you were done, and it was just kind of a throwaway thing. But you could buy a 3-pack for like 20 bucks at Harbor Freight. So then one day I decided that I was going to spend some money, and I invested in an Irwin. And that is right here. So I've had this Irwin for a number of years, and it goes all the way to 7/8 of an inch. So it would be like the middle of this. And the Irwin ones are called a Unibit. And this worked very well. It held up for a long time, but I'm to the point now where my tips that start it are actually all worn out. And like my first 3 steps are all worn out. So really for me to use one of these, I have to use like a 3/8 drill bit, drill through it, and then use this to enlarge that hole. So why would you want a Unibit? Why wouldn't you just use the drill bit that you need to use or that you want to use? Well, there's a variety of reasons for that. Really, they work in 2 different types of situations. Number one is where you're drilling a very hard material and you need to step up gradually, and you don't want to swap out drill bit, 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 and go through half of your set. Number 2 would be if you're not quite sure what size hole you're going to need, but you can kind of ballpark it. So that would be useful for like when you're installing a rubber grommet on a piece of sheet metal. That's where I use these most often. Like if you're drilling a firewall to put a power cable through the firewall for an amplifier or something like that. So what you would do is you would chuck this into your drill. You would get it started with this point that's right at the end. And then you would just go, you know, halfway down the barrel, and you would test fit your rubber grommet. I need to go a little bit bigger. You drill a couple more notches, try again. Drill a couple more notches, try again. It's really nice for you to be able to just step up one step after another to get to the point where you need to be. Number 2, these go very large. So a normal twist bit set is only going to go to a 1/2 inch. That's pretty standard, unless you've got something, you know, that's like a hole saw kit or something different, and hole saws can only drill through certain types of materials. So if you want to drill a round hole that is, you know, 7/8 of an inch or 1 1/8 like this one, these are a really, really good option for that. You know, if you don't have twist bits that can accommodate. And, you know, originally when I went to Ace and I picked this up, this set. I also picked up a pocket knife, which I talked about in a previous video. But I went there to buy 1 bit. I was just going to buy this one, the big one, because I figured that I could use this for just about anything that I need to use this thing for, and it would be more than enough for me. But they only sold a 3-pack, and this is like 80 bucks or 90 bucks by itself, and the 3-pack is 160, and they were giving 15% off because there was a sale going on at the store, so everything was 15% off except for power tools. So, you know, I ended up paying, I think it was 160, so 15 squared, 225. So I don't know, I paid about 135 bucks for this, give or take, without doing the exact math. So it was about 50 bucks more than just this 1 bit to get the other 2 as well. And I thought, well, there are times where transitions that are that fine aren't great, and I would much rather have something like this that has a much wider transition. So I use these all the time. This Irwin one I've had for years. I have no reason to expect these Milwaukee ones won't last as long as this Irwin one did. Irwin makes good tools, so does Milwaukee. These have been independently tested, and a lot of channels and videos and reviewers really like them. One thing that I do like about the Milwaukee over the Irwin is that they have a hex on the bottom of them. So this does not. It's got kind of a 3 flat base on it. So this can be chucked into a drill very easily, like a normal drill with a chuck. This has a hex, so it's going to go into like an impact drill driver, or really anything. It can just go into a normal drill and be chucked into that just fine. I think one thing that would be a really helpful addition to this tool is to have a hex extension. Something like this guy. This is a Milwaukee as well. It's a Milwaukee Quick Lock. This came with their paddle drill bit set. But something like this that you can chuck this thing into, and you can kind of keep it locked in place, and you can use this on an extension from a little ways away. That'll be helpful for when you're trying to drill something like a firewall, where you can't necessarily get this big body of a drill in real close to the firewall to get the bit in. So the hex gives you a lot more options for extensions, for using different devices like an impact or a small, like a compact drill driver or something like that doesn't have a chuck. So I do like the hex, and the case is nice, looks good, and it matches all the other Milwaukee cases that I have. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.